Today we are going to start our new topic, that is Azure Firewall service. How many of you know what do you mean by firewall? Can anybody tell me exactly what is firewall?
It's
Firewall
a
is one
security
kind
feature.
yes.
See,
Actually, it is one kind of service or installed one kind of feature in Windows by default feature of Windows operating system to secure actually the environment actually on means to manage the traffic, inbound traffic and outbound traffic also.
see, actually you are telling that Windows security. No, not like that. Because firewall features given to Windows. That's why Windows having firewall. I want to know what exactly firewall. What is the what to say? What do you mean by? What do you understand about the firewall? For,
Firewall is one kind of a device which is managed by network team in every project actually to manage the traffic flows actually in the environment.
firewall doesn't manage traffic.
It is basically giving authority to access. For example, we can open a port or we can close a port on the basis of requirement.
So, for your information, a firewall is a network security system that acts as a barrier between trusted internal network and untrusted external network. That I am expecting. Such as the internet, it is primary function to control and monitor incoming and outgoing network traffic based on a set of predetermined security rules. The goal of firewall is to prevent unauthorized access to the internal network while allowing legitimate communication to pass through. Firewall can be implemented in both hardware and software forms depending on the requirement of the network. They are commonly found in router, switches, dedicated firewall appliances, and software based solution or servers or individual devices. The firewall operates by examining the data packets traveling through it and comparing them against the established rules. If a packet matches an allows rule, it allowed to pass through the firewall and reach to the destination. On the other hand, if the packet violates any of the security rule, it is either blocked entirely or subjected to further inspections or processing based on more sophisticated rule set. The main type of firewall includes, there are three kind of firewall, four kind of firewall rules, okay, or four kind of firewalls. The first one is packet filtering firewall. This is the most basic type of firewall that inspect packet based on predetermined criteria such as source and destination IP address, port and protocols. Stateful firewall. This type of firewall keep track of the state of network connection and allows or deny packet based on the connection's current state. It's more sophisticated than packet filtering firewall. Proxy firewall. A proxy firewall acts as an intermediary between the internal network and external network. It receives requests from internal device on behalf of those devices and forward the request to the external network. The responses are then sent back through the firewall to the requesting device. Next gen firewall. Next gen firewall combine traditional firewall functionality with individual features like intrusion prevention, deep packet inspection, application awareness, and more an advanced threat detection capability. Firewall are crucial component of network security, providing an essential layer of defense against various cyber threats, including unauthorized access, malware, and other malicious activity. They play a vital role in protecting sensitive data and ensuring the integrity, confidentiality, availability of network resources. This is actually the firewall. Anyway, is that clear everyone? What is firewall? Firewall is obviously a network devices. By default, what exactly do? It is monitoring and create a rule. That means whenever the traffic are flowing from source to destination, let's say this is the source and this is the destination. So some of the traffics are flowing toward destination. So let's say any of the packets are traveling through this path, that is not guaranteed it can be reached destination. In middle of that, any kind of worm attacked and the packet got freeze. The packet got freezed. So they entirely caught that packet and move. So here connection loss. This is common. To prevent this kind of attacks, so what exactly thing is that we are basically transferring a packet between, basically this is a barrier, boundary. One sided we call trusted, which is we are sending, another we call untrusted. So in between trusted and untrusted there is a barrier which is actually responsible flow of the traffic, monitor the traffic, and the entire traffic are delivering using by certain rule defined by firewall. If any of the flow violate the rules, either he will block or it will permanently disable. That is actually firewall. Clear everyone? Is that clear everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
There are many manufacturers like Sonic Firewall, Cisco Firewall, what to say, many other manufacturing company, Palo Alto, many other manufacturing company, India as well as abroad, they are there for the firewall manufacturer. So organization will purchase the firewall according to their budgets. The purpose is to filter out, monitor out the traffic. See, normally if you do not allow the firewall and access your internet, what else happen? Your system got infected. Your system got infected, isn't it? Because all ports are open. So any kind of worm or Trojan horse or ransomware can attack your system any port. It can attack your system any port and finish your all the banking and financial assets. That's what modern all those antiviruses uses firewall. In Windows, earlier it was Windows Firewall. Nowadays Windows 10 onward it's called Defender, Microsoft Defender. Not only that, CloudStrike, Symantec, all are these very various product which is called software defined firewall. Clear? So this is all about our on-premises solution. This is all about our on-premises solution. Now, as per our study, which subject we are learning here? Cloud? Definitely, your on-premises firewall cannot be support cloud. Is it possible? No. As you know, in everything here in Azure as a service, so Microsoft also invented a firewall. That is Microsoft own defined firewall. Don't think that this firewall weaker than original hardware device. No, it's more advanced, more clever than our traditional firewall device. All things you can do. You can create inbound rule, outbound rule, DNS rule, anything. Routing rule, stateless, stateful, everything, all things you can do. Next is, then tell me one thing. Let's say this is your virtual machine and you are taking the virtual machine remote from your on-premises network. Clear? You are taking virtual machine remote from your on-premises network. Now what happened? While you are taking RDP, it's taking connection timeout. What is the reason? You see it is blocked by your network security group, like NSG, right?
Yes.
So you thought is the problem of NSG. So that means what exactly the Function of NSG, NSG will block the packet. NSG will block the packets. What firewall do? Firewall also block the packets. Firewall also block the ports. That means you say NSGs also block the packets and port. Okay. And firewall also block all the packets and port. Sorry, not packets, I was wrong. It's not the packet, port. My question, if both are same, then why Microsoft created firewall and NSG both? Why not it can be achieved through NSG? Then why purpose firewall we have invented? Okay, for your information, let's say your Azure advisory, you already heard about it because we have already discussed about the services. Azure advisory suggested that your infrastructure can be violated from a specific URL based traffic, so you have to block URL based traffic or any kind of unknown application URL which can harm for your infrastructure. My question, how will you block it through NSG? Will you be able to do it? Application specific or FQDN specific, will you able to block? Will you able to block? Yes or no?
NSG is not.
No.
It is not possible. So here NSG fail. But in this kind of solution, NSG fail. So basically NSG what exactly do? NSG basically only do port filtering. Basically it's do port filtering. It will block the port, and if you allow it will work you, it is not allowed then it will not work. Other than it doesn't have any kind of intelligence. You got my point? Other than NSG, firewall doesn't have NSG doesn't have any kind of intelligence, whereas firewall have that intelligence. Any application specific, any port specific, any customized port specific, he can detect or he can block or allow packets. That is the main challenges. That is why firewall introduced by Microsoft. It is much more intelligence than NSG. Is that clear? Clear or not?
Yes.
We will understood for the component of Azure Firewall. What is Azure NSG? An Azure Network Security Group is a firewall that operates at WSI layer 3 and 4 to filter ingress and egress traffic from resources on Azure Virtual Network (VNet). Unlike Azure Firewall, which monitor all traffic for workloads, NSG is commonly deployed for individual VNet, subnet, network interface, or virtual machines to refine traffic. It does not so by activating rule, allow or deny access control list which allows deny traffic Azure resources. Whereas Azure Firewall and NSG both are security services offered by Azure. They both operate by securing traffic based upon the set of rules. However, that is where similarly end while NSG is classified firewall, Azure Firewall offered next generation firewall capabilities such as packet inspection, intrusion detection. Okay, See, in description, manage highly available, robust and intelligent firewall with advanced packet inspection capabilities. Whereas network security group basic classic firewall based on 5 tuple hash. Network security groups is a basic or classic firewall based on 5 tuple hash. So this particular word, did you guys tell me where you have listened? 5 tuple hash, it was an algorithm. Did you know where we have listened this word earlier?
Yeah, it's ADFS.
Gopal, please start doing reading, brother. Simple,
No,
I'm
sorry,
telling.
certificate. Sorry, certificate service. Yes,
No,
sorry.
no, 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 no. It's Azure
No.
algorithm. How come you are related to on premises? 5 tuple hash. Avijit?
I remember.
No one learning, I'm telling you. No one learning from my previous classes. A 5 tuple hash algorithm used by load balancer. So layers of protection offers protection to workload by inspecting WSI layer 3 to 7. Basic traffic filtering at WSI layer 3 and 4. Support FQDN tags, and I told you that any FQDN filter it can be done through firewall. Does not support FQDN tag. Okay. Support real-time threat detection. Filter traffic based on allow and block rules. Support availability zone. Does not support require availability zone. Okay. Require intermediate to advanced knowledge of configuration and implement. Require basic network and all those stuff. Key Azure Firewall through technology and security features include protection at WSI layer 3, 4 and 7. While traditional rule-based firewall operate at layer 3 and 4, Azure Firewall works at 3, 4 and 7. Which is, you know, did you know what is WSI layer? So far we have, whenever our AD course started, before we have started. So which
Yes.
is 3, 4 and 7. Which layer comes under 3, 4 and 7?
7 is the application layer. 3, 4, I'm not able to remember actually.
7 is application.
Yeah, application layer.
Are you sure?
Yes, Dada.
And 4?
I exactly don't remember.
All you guys forget. That is the reason. Gopal, you are in very high risk zone. I'm telling you. Again, you have created your risk.
Network
Again,
layer.
again, you are created your risk. Earlier, you have more improved yourself. I don't know what happened, and you have created again yourself on risk. Please do. No, please do. Please learn. So here, this is the architecture of the Azure Firewall. Let's say this is a spoke 1, this is spoke 2. Azure Firewall VNet WAN. Azure to on-premises traffic filtering. See that. This is the architecture. The premium version of Azure Firewall adds additional capabilities such as signature-based IDPS with category including malware, phishing, coin mining and Trojan attack. Coin mining means it is destroy your coin tokens. It's a kind of security threats. TLS inspection and URL filtering. This kind of do. It's very stronger firewall. Okay, NSG on the other hand is a WSI layer 3 and 4 security services. Administrator defined rules allow for block the traffic based on the 5 tuple hash. A 5 tuple hash 5 parameter to enforce rule. It includes the IP address for source and destination. The port number for source of destination protocol TCP UDP both. NSG is created at default with every VNet and virtual machine. You can either create new NSG specific and existing NSG while creating resources. NSG is easy to configure. The rules work on the priority basic. If an ACL has conflicting rules, the rule with the highest priority, lower priority number 100 takes the priority 110. Okay, the image below provides the excellent conceptual breakdown of allow and Azure NSG. Okay, basically NSG work on this, you know how this work is already covered, so please check that video and check that. Azure Firewall versus Azure, I want to tell you, this is the main reason behind that. It's a common question in Azure. This is a common question in Azure. Firewall versus NSG. Azure Firewall is use case specific. It is not surprising to see a mid-sized cloud environment without Azure Firewall. It is a useful when intelligent threats monitoring is required. For many basic use case, administrator may feel the cost of Azure Firewall is not justifiable. NSG, on the other hand, is virtually free for SMBs or small cloud deployment where basic network filtering and refinement are required instead of intelligent and real-time threat detection. NSG is the way to go. It can filter your traffic based on allow, block and rules. See, practical, it's very easy. I'm telling you, it's very easy. It's nothing so hard to implement the firewall, but the hard is to understand the theory. Got it? Azure Firewall standard SQ limitation. Filtering rules for any one of the protocols apart from TCP UDP does not support internet based traffic. The standard load balancer which does not support source network address. Translation, okay, for IP protocol. SNAT changes the private IP to source private network. So this is actually the main core features. This is the different kind of firewall. Okay, let's go to our Azure. In this case, we will do one project. What project? Everyone, is that clear? My voice is clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Let's say this is one of our virtual machine. Okay. And how we connect? Let's say we are connecting through the public internet. Am I right or wrong? How you can connect Azure if you do not have the VPN configured in your environment site to site or point to site? How will you connect the virtual machine? Through public internet?
Yes.
Okay. Now, my client requirement is whenever user ask for the any cloud-based systems running on cloud workload, the traffic will be go towards firewall. That means they are telling my firewall here, the connection you have created here, it's not. Instead of this, my connection will go via firewall and then it will be travel through internet, then via firewall, then system. Okay, let me draw again. So instead of this, whatever they saying, that whenever I will connect user system or cloud based server, how these things happen? Earlier you are doing direct here to here over the public internet. Sorry. This time it will be directly from one, then via firewall, and then it will be reached to your destination. Why firewall? Because I want to hide my IP address. Clear? Earlier what we do, either we will connect the virtual machine by the private IP if it is VPN, or public IP it is open. Right? Now as a whole it was risk. Now as a whole it was really risk, because it was exploited by any of the hacker or any of the problematic person. Instead of doing this, I want to be hide all the details inside the servers. That means kind of netting. Whatever the server internal IP, external IP, that totally hide. Instead of that, I will do MSTC firewall IP. It will be redirect through internet via firewall to go to system. That is our practicals. In this case, we will create one of the network block. In this block, this is will be a different subnet, this is will be a different subnet. We will create one Azure route table. In this case, we have a two different source and destination port. So first will be on, it will be routed traffic to firewall. Second will be synchronize the traffic from here. Clear? Because that's before firewall you have to know the route table. That's what I have completed the route table before the firewall. Clear? Is that clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go and create your implementation. For your information, the block which will take at least of the large number. Remember, the large number you have to take the block. So I will take the block around this subnet. I am taking for VM subnet. This subnet I am taking for firewall. Clear? Let's go to review and create. So you have created one block. You have created one block and define one subnet from here, one another subnet for firewall. Clear? And what is your block size? 10.0.0/16. Clear? IP subnetting you have to understand very carefully, or else Azure is not for you. Again, I'm telling everyone. Okay. If my network created successfully, uh, let's wait till it is come. So if you go to the subnet, you will find out there is a two subnet. One for VM subnet, another for is firewall. See, 10.0.1.0 it having 251, and another firewall 10.0.2.0/24, it is also available 251 IPs. Clear? Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let's go to virtual machine. So how many time it will taking? Okay, so I'm taking VM for VM. What about the NIC network security group? I'm taking basic one. No need further any do. Okay. Inbound port RDP I have allowed. Apart from this, I do not have any requirement. Where is this? Cannot read property of undefined reading valid. So many problem at the create of virtual machine. Reading valid. Azure manage disk type. Did you see every time how frequency earlier we are blindly creating VM? Nowadays see that this is also challenging. Oh my god. Did you see that? Failed to load existing. Problem again in the portal. This is the problem. It cannot be allow me to create. Anyway, no problem. We will show you how to create the firewall. Next day we will do the projects. Because it is not allow me. It's the problem. Like, did you remember that Azure identity? I mean, your Azure advisor, same problem. There might be doing certain kind of changes. See that every time. Cannot read properties of undefined reading valid from their Azure end. You will not be able to create any virtual machine right now. I'm just showing blank. I have not done anything. It's showing blank. Clear?
Daga, can we change the zone?
Zone. For your
Yeah.
information, where you are finding the zone, brother? I have not assigned any
No.
RG. I have not assigned any RG. Nothing. Just check the disk. Why it is showing error? If you give any network code, none of the there is any error. If I go to management, everywhere, I am not creating any. I am not creating review or create something. Does not have done anything, but it is showing error. That means what? That means a problem. You are telling to create on US, okay? If I go to there, same problem. Problem there end.
Okay.
So it will not allow me to create the virtual machine. If I am not able to create the virtual machine, then these things will not be able to possible to show you. Anyway, no problem. Don't worry. Today I will show you how to create firewall. Let's introduce the Azure Firewall. The next day we will do the projects. Basically, firewalls, it's a service, as you know, in Azure. It's a basically services. Seems like this service is you are creating virtual machine network. Same thing in here. There's the option create firewall. First things you have to select RG1. Name is my firewall. Okay, it is on East US based on your RG1. Basically we are doing premium. Whatever we'll do will premium. Firewall policy, as of now I am not doing anything. Whatever it is, leave it blank. Choose virtual network, use existing. My VNet, which one should I select? So many, why getting slow? Pathetic to work here.
Brother, can we do on next day?
Yeah, let's try, because so many problem in the portal. It's not allow me to create any virtual machine, neither it's allow me to create any firewall. Simple, yeah. See that again, if I go to the disk, so many things very. Now see that now error got gone. Now it is error free. Now this problem is gone. Let's see. So what you are telling, Gloria?
Next day, can we?
Okay, so you want to know you want to do the practical on next week, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So you understood the theoretical part. What
Yes,
exactly?
yes.
Basically, firewall is the network devices which segregate, monitor the internet filter, network filter. Now on premises we have a firewall, we also have the firewall on cloud. So that I'm trying to do it, but the problem is that while you do the practical, Microsoft have to functionality have to work, because earlier time you see that whenever I'm going to create the virtual machine, then that time there is a error work coming. Okay, right now if I see that, if I create the virtual machine now, if I go to disk now that error gone fixed. This kind of error you might have face in the portal. Don't be worry, you have to wait some time, it will go on automatically. Okay, so we have understood the theoretical concept of Azure Firewall service. We will do practical on next week. What practical will do, that I already tell you here. Okay, so we will actually take the virtual machine over remote, okay, through public IP, but that public IP will go through the firewall and contact through our internal IP, private IP. That is our project. So next week, tell me which date you want to connect, Wednesday or Saturday. Hello,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Abhijit?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Abhijit, which date you want
Yeah,
to do?
sure, sure.
Wednesday, right?
Yeah, but I need some time because next week roster has not been prepared. So
Okay.
let's see if the evening shift will be there, then it's a problem. Otherwise, it's okay to do practical next.
Okay, please let me know by this week. Okay?
Yes,
With
sure, sure. Saturday I will. Saturday I think
please
also.
please put a message to group and mention Gopal and Gloria. And
Yeah, sure, sure. I will tell that. Is it okay or?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, guys. Thanks.
Let me save the video. Just a minute. Hold on. Huh?